Sputnik 2, or Prosteyshiy Sputnik 2 was the second spacecraft launched into Earth orbit, on November 3, 1957, and the first to carry a living animal, a dog named Laika. Sputnik 2 was a 4-meter-high cone-shaped capsule with a base diameter of 2 meters that weighed around 500 kilograms, though it was not designed to separate from the rocket core that brought it to orbit, bringing the total mass in orbit to 7.79 tons. It contained several compartments for radio transmitters, a telemetry system, a programming unit, a regeneration and temperature control system for the cabin, and scientific instruments. A separate sealed cabin contained the dog Laika. Engineering and biological data were transmitted using the Tral D telemetry system, transmitting data to Earth for a 15-minute period during each orbit. 2 photometers were on board for measuring solar radiation and cosmic rays. Sputnik 2 did not contain a television camera. TV images of dogs on Korabl-Sputnik 2 are commonly misidentified as Laika. Mission profile. Sputnik 2, known to Korolov's design bureau as Prosteyshiy Sputnik 2, meaning Simple Satellite 2, was launched into a 212 1660 km orbit with a period of 103.7 minutes on a modified ICBM-7, similar to the one used to launch Sputnik 1. The R-7 was also known by its GUVO designation 8K71, as well as the T-3, M104, and Type A. The R-7 modified for the PS-2 satellite launch was designated 8K71PS. Unlike Sputnik 1, Sputnik 2 was not designed to detach from the R-7 sustainer core, since Sputnik 1's core stage had demonstrated an acceptable orbital lifespan. This allowed the core's Tral D telemetry system to be used to transmit data, but would lead to speculation that Sputnik 2 had failed to separate. After reaching orbit, interior temperatures rapidly climbed to over 40 degrees Celsius, and Laika survived for only a few hours instead of the planned 10 days. The orbit of Sputnik 2 decayed, and it re-entered Earth's atmosphere on April 14, 1958 after 162 days in orbit. Passenger. The first living creature to enter orbit was a female mongrel originally named Kutrieva but later renamed Laika. Her true pedigree is unknown, although it is generally accepted that she was part husky or other Nordic breed, and possibly part terrier. NASA refers to Laika as a part Samoyed terrier. Laika was selected from 10 candidates at the Air Force Institute of Aviation Medicine, because of her even temperament. She weighed about 6 kilograms. The pressurized cabin on Sputnik 2 allowed enough room for her to lie down or stand and was padded. An air regeneration system provided oxygen. Food and water were dispensed in a gelatinized form. Laika was chained in place and fitted with a harness, a bag to collect waste, and electrodes to monitor vital signs. Early telemetry indicated Laika was agitated but alive and well, though the cabin temperature had already reached 43 degrees Celsius by the third orbit. Biometric telemetry failed sometime after the fourth orbit. While it was initially claimed that Laika had survived in orbit for a week, decades later Russian sources revealed that Laika likely lived only a few hours in orbit before dying from overheating. The mission provided scientists with the first data on the behavior of a living organism in the space environment. Sputnik 2 and the Van Allen radiation belt. Sputnik 2 detected the Earth's outer radiation belt in the far northern latitudes, but the significance of the elevated radiation was not realized. In Australia, Professor Harry Messel intercepted the signals, but the Soviets would not provide the code, and the Australians would not send the data. In 1958, with Sputnik 3, they began to cooperate and confirmed the findings of the U.S. satellites Explorer 1, 3, and 4. Replicas. A copy of Sputnik 2 that was used in testing before the launch is located at Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center in Hutchinson, Kansas. Footnotes. See also, Timeline of artificial satellites and space probes. References, Bilstein, Roger E., Stages to Saturn: A Technological History of the Apollo-Saturn Launch Vehicles, Washington, D.C., National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA SP 4206. Cox, Donald and Stocco, Michael, Spacer Power: What It Means to You, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, The John C. Winston Company. Harford, James, Korolov, New York. John Wiley & Sons, Incorporated, ISBN 0-471-14853-9. Siddiqui, Asif A., Sputnik and the Soviet Space Challenge, Gainesville, FL. The University of Florida Press, ISBN 0-8130-2627-X. Swenson, L., J.R., Grimwood, J.M. Alexander, C.C., This New Ocean, A History of Project Mercury, Washington, D.C., National Aeronautics and Space Administration, Library of Congress card number 66-62424. Zaliger, Stephen J., The Kremlin's Nuclear Sword, Washington. The Smithsonian Institution Press, ISBN 1-58834-007-4. External links, Sputnik, 50 years ago, Anatoly Zakh on Sputnik 2, Sputnik 2 Diary, NSSDC Master Catalog, Spacecraft Sputnik 2, Sputnik 2 at Astronautics, UC Laika, more about Laika.